Sora. Now, this AI thing, this AI tool that recently just came out, pretty interesting. And I wanted to give my thoughts on this. Being a content agency, we do a lot of video work. And, this, for me personally, I want to give my thoughts on it because for me, it's very exciting. And I just wanted to kind of review what we think about it and just kind of review it live with you guys to just discuss what it's all about and what the benefits and even some damages it might have on other industries. So, for example, hint the stock footage industry, and we're going to be talking about this more. So, I have Damien over here. We're both part of Focus. And why don't you give us a first update on Sora? So, you were talking about the name Sora,
Yeah.
on just how it's named Sky.
Yeah. So obviously with a name like Sora for something creative like a type of AI, I knew there would be some sort of like meaning or reason that they chose a name like that. That's how softwares usually work.
Yeah, so it's like sky's the limit, or
Yeah. And so I looked it up and it's the Japanese word for sky. And so they're saying is like limitless creative potential. And you could get more into it, but they're basically Sora is basically supposed to be a foundation for something much bigger in AI.
Interesting. So, have you seen the samples?
Yeah, I actually got a chance to look at them earlier. They're pretty awesome.
Yeah, I want to look at some on the screen over here as well,
Okay.
and let's just give our live thoughts on these. So there's the website. And what was your first impression when you saw this?
It looks real. It looks like stock footage. Looks like a shot that somebody took with a camera and even scened to make all these people come out this time.
So seeing this and seeing how, like, it's 58 minutes. Oh, sorry, no, 58 seconds. Sorry. And like, if it was 10 to 15 seconds, I'm like, okay, this is pretty unusable. But the AI generated a pretty big video and it kept the details pretty consistent. Like,
Yeah.
if you showed me this, like, look at that close up.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild, man.
The
Like,
reflections, everything.
that's very, like, it still has, of course, this video game characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I showed you this
Yeah.
today. What was your initial thought? Like, what was the
I
AI
thought
was?
this was like Interstellar too. I thought it was the sequel. It looks really. This one was really real to me, realistic looking when it came to like the skin and
It took me a while to
humans.
realize that this is AI.
Yeah.
Like, by a while, I mean, I'm like, there's no way this is AI, man. Like, just the fact that they added a prompt.
Yeah.
And then imagine having that kind of
Yeah.
access.
And
where
it
you
tells
could-
you the prompt too.
Yeah, imagine just having that kind of access as a whole, where you can just type in a prompt and it just gives you this live looking video.
Yeah.
What are
pretty
some use
crazy.
cases you think about these?
So for ones like these that you're seeing on the screen right now, that's definitely like stock footage out the window,
Mhm.
because these are the type of drone shots or type of cinematic stills that come in just for a quick second.
Yeah.
And that's what this is good for, is like, if you, like how you said, if you stare long enough, you can find imperfections, but just to establish a scene or like cut away real quick, you can't tell.
Yeah. So definitely, I want to talk about, and we'll look at more samples as well.
Yeah.
How does this affect filmmaking and just the content world as a whole? Does this affect anything at all? Or I want to get your thoughts first before I say mine.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think so, because if there's someone that's willing to take the time to write the prompts and then correct them, just like AI users now, someone that's willing to get that result that they're looking for and try over and over again until they get the right result spit out from the AI, then they could really get some like realistic results and exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah. So I still think it's a little far away from it taking over the filmmaking space and the content space.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm looking at the Twitter, people are like, okay, bye filmmaking, or bye videography, something like that. I'm like, it's still a lot of ways ahead of, capturing that market. But just a reminder that it only took them 1 year from
Yeah.
going to absolutely not usable footage to creating something that is 100% definitely usable. Like, if they give us access to this tomorrow, you will see wild stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure their election will fail because the people would create some wild stuff using this.
Yeah.
That's why it has limited access. But Yeah, so when it comes to affecting the industry as a whole, it definitely will leave a dent, a
Hmm.
big dent in the stock footage industry. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Because if you can type something, because stock footage industry had its downfall. Like I don't like using stock footage, man. I really
Mhm.
don't like using stock footage unless I absolutely have to, because it has that commercially vibe to it, which
Yeah,
I
it
don't like.
does. Yeah.
So if I can have an option where I just type something
Hmm.
and a stock footage just comes up tailor made to you, we're definitely 100% using that. We're
Yeah.
not. We're canceling all our subscriptions because all you need is OpenAI.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
That's
wild.
awesome.
So the reason I think it won't affect the filmmaking industry as of right now is because of the personalization you get by hiring somebody who
Hmm.
can still create something personalized for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
When they come out with something that's more personalized to you, so let's say you can add your face towards a video or add in
Hmm.
a character towards a video, then I would say, okay, this will definitely leave a dent
Hmm.
into the filmmaking or even videography business. But at the moment, I just think I just think of it as a tool that will make your craft even better.
That's kind of how they market it too. When you look at their website, you scroll down far enough, they market it as being the beginning of something called AGI, which is artificial general intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
where that's where we get the idea of AI that can think for itself.
Yeah.
And so how you're saying, like, you hire someone, they have the whole creative aspect, they have the experience, the skills, the years on their belt, and they're human, so they can think of unique ideas.
Yeah.
But this is supposed to be the beginning or a really big fundamental for exactly that conscious mind or conscious thought that can compute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
That's absolutely wild, man. So
Yeah.
some reasons, a couple of reasons why I think this is a very big useful scenario when it comes to using it in production is if you need a certain drone footage of a certain area, you just type that and it gives you specifically something you tailored for, and then you can just add that into your production. So
Hmm.
I don't see it as a something that is replacing it at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it as more of a tool that enhances your overall workflow.
Mm.
For me, it all comes down to how you see it. So if you're seeing it as like, oh, this will affect my industry, just find use cases on how you can implement this to your business so you can like get results which still opens people's mouth. Like, okay, how did you do this?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I want to also talk about something prior to this, which is the photo industry. When I saw this, I was kind of confused because I still thought that the first step was perfecting the photo world,
Mm.
like the imaging. Like you give the chat GPT a prompt and it
Hmm.
makes super realistic photos. It
Right.
does that, but it's still not perfect.
Yeah.
The only use case scenario I've seen it is where people will upload their face and AI will, that
Yeah.
trend where people will make it all
Yeah.
their profile pictures.
Yeah. I've
That
seen
was the
that.
closest AI implementation I saw when it came to images, but I
Hmm.
still don't even think the image world is perfected when it comes to AI. Like I
Yeah.
could easily tell, like it has that contrasty, the colorfulness,
Or video game.
yeah, of a video game
Yeah.
that AI has. So I'm surprised how far they've come to the video world,
Hmm.
just skipping that stone from the photo world, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's a really good point because that's what this Sora is supposed to be able to do three things. It's text to video, meaning you just give it like instructions. You just type your prompt and it turns it into a video. And then it could even, I don't know if you've seen it turn still images to video also.
It does.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
if you give
That
y-
one's very interesting.
yeah, if you give
I
it an
haven't seen that.
image, it'll actually animate the contents within the image and turn it into a moving video.
So you're telling me we could take any photo from the past,
Yeah.
any photo from the past, like
Yeah.
an emotional moment or something.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I haven't seen how long like it'll spit out the video, like how it made a minute from that one. But it says that it can do those two things as well as extend an existing video, which is interesting because that means if we had any video that we had and we need either missing frames or just making it longer by a few seconds or however long, then it says that it has that ability as well.
That's
And
crazy,
so
man.
for like how you're saying, for it to meet all those needs without even perfecting the video, I think that's definitely one of the reasons why it's not going to replace tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's because there's those type of things that just is gonna take time to really refine and perfect.
Do you think there's anything people need to worry about when it comes to just the growth of AI in itself?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like how you've been describing, it's meant to be a tool and it's all how you see it.
Yeah.
And so the more and more it becomes common, you definitely need some sort of general knowledge of it
Mm-hmm.
and general use of it,
Yeah.
because that'll really bridge a gap between, those professionals that do use it
Yeah.
just as a tool in their advantage versus those who, will just be left in the past, and something that would take them hours to do
Mm-hmm.
with AI could just split that time in half or even a
That
fraction,
is a fantastic point, and that
Yeah.
is something I had down as well.
Mm.
The speed of execution
Yeah.
is just 4 times faster now.
Mhm.
Like for
Absolutely.
example, and let's say you hire a designer for your Photoshop work.
Mhm.
Let's say you hire a designer for your Photoshop work. You tell them, hey, I need this, 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 and they would usually take like a week or
Yeah.
2 weeks to make it.
Yeah.
But now with the help of, for example, the AI generative fill, and if you guys don't know what AI generative fill is, it's basically you circle, let's say you just circle anything over here and type in, I need a plant, and it'll just give that plant over here. I'll just
Yep.
put a plant over here magically, poof. That's how good the generative fill tools are.
Mhm.
And AI professional tools are available. It just doesn't need to be like making some stuff out of the sky.
Mhm.
Like AI tools are, for example, just making splits in the video automatically, detecting the silences, detecting the ums and ands, and just removing that automatically.
Yep.
Like AI has gone to the point where it's very good, and instead of looking at it as a tool of a disruptiveness of like, okay, this is going to replace this, which it is. It just depends on how you adapt to it.
Mhm.
It's a tool which has m- making the making the world move very fast.
Yeah.
Now, if I text my designer, be like, "Hey, I need this," he'll be like, "Okay, it'll be done in an hour,"
Yeah.
because he can just like type a prompt, do this, do this, do this. So he's, instead of taking a week on a project, he's taking multiple projects, and just he's turned kind of like a disadvantage, quote unquote, into an advantage, because now he's making more because
Yeah.
he's able to
The
turn around
production.
projects more.
Yeah.
So I don't see how this makes things faster. I just see it as things, and I'm thinking in terms of stock footage.
Mhm.
It just makes things better,
Yeah.
just production wise and everything wise.
Yeah. I think it's solely kind of wrapped around the efficiency of it.
Yeah.
How it might not even just be speed either, because that's something that AI is really good at, like the meticulous things.
Yeah.
They'll make a AI tool specifically just to do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, when we use certain editing programs, and it gets rid of all those ums, those ands, or those pauses, those silences, that AI was designed just to do that one thing very, very well.
Exactly.
And then you have something else in a different scenario that AI was designed to do that task very, very well. And so to see something like this where it's coming, or that's how you really have to utilize this type of AI.
Yeah.
And that's why people that are really diving into that, they have an AI that does this or automates that and that and that, and they're kind of building this web to just become the most efficient person they can be.
It's very true. So I want to talk about product shoots.
Mm.
How do you think these things, this generative stuff, affects that?
Yeah, I think that's a good one, because in the category of product shoots, you get pretty close to something like this actually. Not like a video game, but those really creative effects that you've probably never seen before, like light shimmers or like
Yeah.
sparkles or like more immersive like type of looks,
Mm-hmm.
where it kind of just a product engulfed in a certain background.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't even have to look completely realistic. That's the
Mhm.
thing about those. So I think for something like that, I could definitely see this,
Taking over.
taking over,
Yeah.
or at least closer to taking over.
Yeah. So for product ones, I would say,
Yeah.
especially because right now, like, I don't want to like instill fear or anything,
Yeah.
but I'm just looking at the pace it's growing. So let's say by 2 months' time, they do make it public, or even a year, they make it public. By the time they make it public, they'll have like a lot of changes.
Yeah.
A lot of changes. And by the time they make it public, what if they also have some features where you can take your logo and be like, okay, hey, can you put this on a bottle and make it spin and do this,
Hmm.
this, this? Now you have a product,
Yeah. Yeah.
which would usually take like days to make.
Yeah.
Now it's taking you a minute. So again, that speed of execution can either be another field on its own. Like you hire somebody like, hey, can you make me this, this, this? I don't have time because they're busy or something, whatever. But it's just one of those industry that it will affect no matter what.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if there's a workaround for that, but yeah, guys, I would just start implementing this as soon as you can. I want to look at more samples real quick.
Yeah. Wow, I
What
haven't
the
seen
hell?
this one. Yeah, see something like this, you could tell it's not real. Not just because that would actually
Yeah,
happen, but just the movements and.
look at that one.
But that.
Like, if you haven't seen the samples online, go look at the samples, and you will genuinely be mind blown. Like, this is something.
Yeah.
This is super high quality, super high quality. I don't know the logistics of it, like how long it takes for it to generate. But if you just look at the quality and how it does the lighting, how it does the shadows,
Hmm.
how realistic it approaches, you will never be able to tell this is AI. You will
Yeah.
not be able to tell this is AI. Like you would be more confused if I told you this is AI. Like what? How's this AI? And then you look at some little things. I'm like, okay, I do see certain imperfections in it that does make it AI. But other than that, look at this one, bro. So futuristic.
What do you think if this became like it's something where you can tell the difference of if this became something that was done on purpose. Like it was you were meant to know that this is AI, but people this acceptance kind of just grew where someone would do you think someone would ever like accept to watch a movie made by AI or a video made by AI? Kind of like you know how and maybe like in like cosmetics, if you know
Yeah.
someone trying to change something, they're like, "Oh, you're not natural," and that's
Yeah.
kind of how we feel with the AI right now.
Mm-hmm.
But more and more, it's kind of been accepted. Do you
Yeah.
think that would happen with AI?
And that's a good point. Yeah. So I think that's the whole beauty of when it comes to the filmmaking part and making movies as a whole. So if you tomorrow woke up and started watching Netflix movies on AI, I mean, it all comes
Hmm.
down to where the industry is headed. I want to say that the emotional element and just the human touch helps a lot, but I think in the past we've seen some examples where the human touch is lost and we haven't really noticed it.
Mm. Yeah.
But as of now, I still think that if you do see an AI movie tomorrow and you find it entertaining, I don't think you'll find anything wrong with it. I just think the logistics of it, yeah, that's a good question, man. It says you can go either way. So the emotional touch is definitely necessary.
Yeah.
And on the second side, it'll definitely make oversaturate the market because everyone has access to it. So the way this question is framed is you either type down a whole script and it gives you a whole movie out of it,
Hmm.
or you just write a few sentences down and it gives you a whole movie out of it. So which one's more appealing to you?
Yeah.
So it's not really an exciting idea.
Yeah. That even that example is really profound too, though,
Yeah.
because what if you threw a script, a whole movie script,
Mm-hmm.
beginning to end credits into the AI, and you just took its version that doesn't look realistic, but you took all the shots and you took the locations that it chose
Yeah.
and the lighting that it chose and the type of things, ideas that it generates from there, but then you went and shot it with a real
You know
camera.
what it would help in. Um, Real life stories and documentaries. It would help a lot in.
Mm.
It would enhance that specific category a lot.
Yeah.
So, for example, if we're telling a story about World War One, for example, we can generate footage or clips that helps the new generation or the younger people understand what happened exactly even better.
Yeah.
Of course, we have some footage from those eras. We can mix and match it, or perhaps make it even better. Like you said,
Yeah.
you can upload an old footage and make it better.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure AI will be at a point where it could be better.
That's kind of what we've been seeing is like for the example of being able to upload a photo. We might even have like photos from past eras and it could bring those things to life. Um, even even the ability to have AI copy an already existing idea or video,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where it comes really powerful too, because just like you take a person,
Yeah.
if you give them the idea already,
Mm-hmm.
it's some sort of professional editor or designer, then they already have a framework and they could replicate it a lot easier.
Yeah, I think the editor's life would be a lot easier. Like they could just be sitting on their desk and now
Yeah.
they're a filmmaker all of a sudden.
And because they could take someone who's like very famous, someone that they like their work or they know their client
Yeah.
likes, and tell AI to make work that looks just like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious about, and I'm waiting on this, is when will it help with the VFX and stuff? Like if it makes VFX easy,
Mm-hmm.
that would be super cool. Like AI generated fill, but for video.
Yeah.
That'd be super dope.
Yeah, that would.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there are some beta versions of that,
Yeah.
but just something super realistic that would help a lot. But yeah, the emotions part of if you're seeing an AI movie, how would you feel about that? Like I've thought about that question a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and the first initial thoughts were like nobody would watch that. It doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I kind of stumbled upon that question. I'm like, okay, if people got used to it, would it really matter if they're
Yeah.
just enjoying the thing?
Right.
Well, okay, you're like, okay, the actors, you haven't seen the actors anyways. You know they exist subconsciously because they are walking human being, but they could be AI actors now,
Yeah. Yeah.
something like that. But you're still enjoying the movie. You still find it comedy.
Yeah.
Now I think it's just a script battle. Now it's not more of who can act better, who has a better locations. Now it's just a script battle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's the same. It's the same. How you're saying it's about that human touch.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you take someone that already is a great mind and you bring it to like a tool like this,
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely where you cross over into like
Yeah.
some really high potential creative.
But this is, of course, talk for the future. This is not going to happen tomorrow in the next couple of years. I can't. I don't know because what we're seeing right now is kind of it's something I would like. Nobody was expecting. This was OpenAI just keeps surprising us
Mm-hmm.
with all these new tweaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Any last comments on this new tool?
What do you think about? We saw what we thought about affecting it like filmmaking, but what about like short form? Some type of short form content like social media. Do you think this would ever?
Unless I don't see it because you still need to go out and record people on its own, and I don't think they're going to just disrupt industries like one by one that way. They're going to slowly introduce it
Mm-hmm.
because of course they have to make sure that um other companies I don't think would allow this to happen that fast.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's making like all these products, like Sony for example, making all these cameras and they just come up with an AI, like okay, the camera industry is all gone. If
Right.
they keep it like killing all these industries one by one, I don't think like any company would allow that. I don't think um, they would be allowed to do that as a whole. But this is just me broadly thinking.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, as of now, I don't think so because there's two answers to this. So one is, of course, you need to record somebody like locally, or you need to record somebody on a phone and get that footage and edit it.
Mm-hmm.
You could use that to tell better stories or whatever. And the second way is to just use the AI footage and just use it as like a voiceover footage. So whatever they're saying,
Yeah, I see.
just to add the stock footage on top and just make it more personalized real.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two ways of doing this, but the second way you could still do it will just be a more improved method.
Right.
So back to my first point, it'll just be a more improved and a better version of what we're already doing.
Right.
Yeah. So the short answer to that would be no. I don't think it would entrust the short form content,
I
even the
see.
long form.
Yeah.
Long form is more trickier to take over. Like you're not going to take over this whole set,
Yeah.
like a podcast style set. Of course, you do need that human touch, those human mistakes, and all that comes with the human package.
Yeah.
AI doesn't deliver on that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I see.
All right, man. That was a very good discussion. I'm still shocked. I'm like, look at this one, man. I remember you showing me this one.
Oh,
Just the
yeah.
raw emotion on her face.
I think that's
Yeah,
the
the-
realest one I've seen.
There is a little bit. I don't know how this blanket is moving. Yeah, I thought that was her hand at first. Right.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah. So
confusing.
if you look for mistakes in these videos, you will definitely find mistakes.
Mhm.
But just on the raw side of things, it looks very, very, very real. And they do have a weakness session where they tell you what the weaknesses are of the AI generating video, and you can see over here the wolves just appear out of nowhere and they disappear. I
Yeah,
haven't seen this one.
that's interesting. Wow.
Far
Second
out, no.
basketball. Oh, phased.
Okay, now the prompt makes sense. And then explodes, but it didn't explode there. It just gave a new basketball.
Yeah.
Look at that one.
Oh, it's moving itself. Oh, it's a chair.
Yeah, it's just sheer detail, man. You can't, like, the lighting and everything. That is so impressive, man. You can't tell. I'll see you guys next week. We'll be back on our regular programming of talking about social media. All right, guys. Take care. Peace.